Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it.
Like about 15 minutes before I started stream, Artix did a super wide announcement that somebody else was streaming. And I'm like, this is not the first time something like this has happened to me. I know it is not, like, it is not malicious or anything, but the timing of that is just, you know, these things happen to me too often for it to just be coincidence, you know. It's just like, the universe is like, no, we just don't want lag to do events, we don't want lag to have a good time on AQ3D. That is what it feels like sometimes. Hey, is that Artix Entertainment? What is up? Thank you very much for the follow. Although I could have sworn you were following me already.
Oh, he responded directly. Oh no!
What do you mean?
My tweet. Oh no, he responded directly.
Oh, nice.
You get it right now. I'm gonna make sure we're all connected on Discord so you can message me when you. Alright.
I'm sorry.
That was a tag
upset.
team tweet.
Okay. Fine.
Was it a tag team tweet though?
Greetings and salutations!
Hey.
Oh.
Welcome.
Hi Lag. Hi Helimod. I'm sorry. Hello. I can't wait to see what the YouTube videos chop up and use out of context.
Do you want me to do that or like?
Yeah, that's more on Helimod's side of the spectrum.
I need to shave my head bald, groom my beard, and then wear a baseball cap.
Why?
Don't do that.
Why? So I can change my intro.
I'm pretty good. I didn't know that you were coming back to stream tonight. That's awesome. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
I'm feeling pretty good now, but today was a very rough day, and like, it just feels like forever. Like this game project, like we just kept being strategically, like, just there's always some disaster. Every time we line up to have a win, something would knock us down, and today was a pretty rough day. Like every day has been. Like it's all like, you know, ever since we started the studio, right? Like there's things that are not game related. Every day there's some new crisis. It's just always some sort of problem. So I'm like, okay, MJ, tonight I'm gonna come and I'm gonna hop on your stream. And I hop on the stream and then I see Lag's tell in game and I'm like, oh God, you gotta be kidding me. How does everything I do like cause problems? Every time I move, I cause a problem. And then I see Helimod's like tweet on Twitter, and I'm just like, I'm like near in tears here. I'm like, I know what we can do. Let's go hang out with these guys. Let's get this better.
It's definitely getting better now.
It is. We didn't mean to bring you to tears. I apologize for that.
Well, I mean, just so you guys know, like, you two and Gold Raven, and Virus, and MJ are all on the A list. Like, you've always been on the A list, like, for as long as my AQ memory can go now. So
It's been rough, and I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be streaming AQ3D again. And I know we have not exactly seen eye to eye, but I look forward to seeing how things progress.
Thank you. And that's a one-way thing. I've, that's always been really good for the community, and let's just kill the elephant in the room. Like, the past couple weeks have been an unnerving low, right? And now it kind of feels like we're on the top uptick back to up, and we're at the start of the bend, right? There's still, but we're going the right direction now. Finally, everything's a wave. Life's a wave. It's big ups, big downs. Like, there's no beefs, there's no problems. Everybody's been cool for at least a little while now. Like, there's no beefs, there's no problems. Everybody's been cool for at least a little while now. Then, Tani and I wrote this, we co-wrote this letter. And it was crazy. Like, she wrote so fast. Like, I didn't even get through it. Halfway through my paragraph, and she wrote her entire, like, I was like, oh my God, you're really fast. And some of the stuff we talked about was, reviewing the staff stuff, making sure everybody was equal. And we had that meeting on Thursday. And this is the point where I'm thinking about the future, right? I'm like, okay, so now I'm over this. I've accepted everything. I accepted all the things I've done wrong. I know that I did these things right to make up for it. This is what I'm going to continue doing in the future. And, maybe we should talk about this, like, this whole brutal honesty thing. I really like it. Like, I think Cicero had a good bit of it. And I think maybe that's why I needed to adopt this philosophy. Because, one, are they mad about something because, we actually did something wrong? Are they mad because they care and it's something we can change? Or is it, is being mad the attraction? And it's not easy. And, like, until you're sitting in that seat, taking the heat for something that has nothing to do with you, like, just being, like, and it doesn't matter where you go, right? Like, I don't want to call out, like, other game companies, but look at all these things that are happening in the industry, right? Like, can you imagine the people that are champions of those things, and, like, how they're dealing with it when they feel let down, and, like, then let down again, and then let down again, and, like, it's bad out there. Like, there was so much misinformation that was being spread, and it, like, went, like, just, like, in that particular thing, right? Because I mean, that was kind of like the big public event, right?
Yeah.
The word sexual harassment didn't enter into that narrative until after the Twitter stuff started, and, like, that was what all the stuff picked up on. Like, it wasn't part of the narrative until then. And then there were things posted that were hearsay that people took as fact, and that created a lot of problems internally, because, like, it's like, I don't know where some of these weird numbers and things came out of. Like, the whole thing was bonkers, and I'm not sure, like, things were bad, but hey, look, I reached out, and the thing that worked was I talked to everybody. Like, I talked, and I found out what was bothering them, and I asked them how to solve it to make them happy. We figured it out, and we made them happy. I talked to Tani, I talked to Relic, I talked to Vesper, I talked to everybody, and we are all cool. Like, this happened a long time ago, right? Like, and people, they bring up Ash, but way back when, like, Ash and I resolved it too. Like, a lot of people kind of bring that stuff, like, way forward, but they don't. They're not in the conversations, right? I think there are people that maybe they're just excited to watch the drama, and You know, maybe we need to become more like the WWE and actually have drama that's on display on purpose, right? 'Cause that would be more fun.
I love that.
But everybody in these stories, they're all real people and they're all good people. So I always make these decisions to kind of make everybody feel better. And sometimes making those decisions hurts the project or the goal that I'm trying to obtain. So the first goal I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop prioritizing everybody's emotions over the end goal that benefits the greater good. And that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna care about people's feelings. It just means that I'm gonna, I think my father used to say, letting the tail wag the dog. I still got out of the way of little old ladies. Don't misunderstand that stuff. And Alina, she says, we do what we must because we don't have any other choice. And she meant it. Like it.
There were a lot of things going on in the background that we did not know about. And there are a lot of
the century.
And there's a lot that is still going on that we will probably never know about.
Lag?
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned this before. I've said, like, at the start of when it all happened, basically, I've said that this is more of like an internal issue. I feel like most of these, well, I don't wanna word it bad on your stream, but like most of these people shouldn't be really involved because this is internal and they don't really see what's really going on in the background. They just see it up front. That's why Twitter is a bad place to get information from, most likely. I don't know.
Yes.
That's why I've kind of like taken my leg out of it and just continued playing anyways. So
yes.
Helimod, shut up. All right. Someone says we need news, social media. I don't know what that word is. People to work with us. And if I'm being completely honest here, I feel like all that does is put a gap in between moments like this.
I agree. We had never really done that before, and if you look at our history, every time we have done that, it has ended in disaster. I think let's go back to the old ways. The game leads, and I and the heavy hitters, we go talk to everybody, we gather information. Like that has been a very solid because we can actually make it happen. If there was like a definitive moment where like I kind of came back to life, because I do think when you just get so emotionally run down, when all these things happen in rapid succession, all the people in the hospital, all the problems, all the angry people, like, you know, I miss the days when the players like really celebrated like the releases we did, and like then it's really painful going out and interacting when you go into Twitter and like you could post a picture of like a cute baby and like they would eviscerate you anyways. Like it's I mean you guys actually know because when you stream, like if things turn hostile, like it really gets to you, right? Like you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. It's like comments, all social media. It's
you know, as a studio,
mm-hmm.
we never mind like real good constructive criticism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it pushes us to be better. And I don't block anybody on Twitter for saying, you know, valid things about the game. I think I've blocked like 3 people total, and that was because they launched very personal attacks, which was really bad for like my psyche. Like I'm okay with being a punching bag for people who care, because if somebody complains about the game, that means they care about the game, right? And you know, I can't fix everything, you know, immediately, but we can start prioritizing what needs to be done and do the best we can.
Yeah.
But
housing.
I do think that there's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I coughed and it sounded like housing.
Here, let me throw a curveball at you, because this is the tweet that I thought we maybe did a little bit better on. Feel free to write an hour-long release next. I'm getting tired of these releases being only a few minutes at most.
Who said that?
I'll see you in 8
I'll find
months.
it.
I mean,
Oh wait, this is for the wrong game. Ah! Okay, we actually did not get this message for Adventure Quest 3D. Finally!
So
Sorry guys, false alarm. Wrong game.
yeah. Also, thank you very much to everybody that followed. Thank you, Kadrius, for these.
So that survey that we did, one thing that really stuck out was that when you looked at what devices people were playing on, we had a lot of PC players, like a lot. And we know that our distribution of players, that PC players make up the smallest number of players of the game. So it indicated that people who primarily follow us on Twitter are primarily PC users. And the survey was basically like a very specific portion of our player base was the majority of the voice on the survey. And that's a really important distinction to make when kind of looking at those, because most of the mobile players, I don't think they follow us on social media. I think they just kind of log into the game and they don't even know that the community exists.
Most of the
So like, and then I go to the lab and like solving these problems. I'm like, oh my god! So I'm spending all day long solving, these kind of people problems, and I'm not spending any time on the game. Not like I wasn't on the Nalgath Saga. I wasn't on AQ Worlds Mobile today. I wasn't on, the main storyline for AQ 3D or the bathroom. Like, I was spending all of my time like solving all these problems, and that was like, it happens more than I'd like to. I was thinking as like, everything really is a wave. Like, I look back to the history of our company. Every single person in our company, the game industry, individual games, we all follow this like never-ending wave. You have your times where you're like super up, and then those bad things happen. You have times when you're super down, and then the difference between when you stay down, like when a company like a buddy of mine runs a channel, and he interviewed the guy from Telltale Games, and I guess they filed for bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's not a fair comparison. So let me just scratch saying that. But like these situations, right? Like navigating everything's really hard for everybody.
This year has mostly been all cosmetic releases. Whatever your opinion is, there's just an overwhelming flood of cosmetics compared to actual gameplay and gameplay improvements. But when is the cosmetic content going to finally take an end?
So the only real things keeping people going are each other and the sense of community. I don't know about you guys, but I have a limit to wanting to farm cosmetic items or buy cosmetic items. One of the big things about this game that was so fun for me coming back was getting to max level, progressive content that came out every week, and I'm referring to Ssnsy, getting to enjoy all new experiences that didn't feel too close to each other, being able to run content scaled for build variety and trying to make a pure build, whether it be for haste or attack. What I'm getting at is that for me personally, what I find fun is achieving new heights, making accomplishments, doing something that not a lot of other people can do. Some form of endgame, some form of content that is so absurdly hard that when you do it, you feel accomplished. But most of the content that's come out has either been scaled or not worth it in the sense of progression. There hasn't been anything that's come out that's better than the raid gear.
right? Don't just give us an RNG grind. Give us a light at the end of the tunnel.
Look at 11's point. The problems and conversions you're having right now is what AQW community had over 6 years ago. That is absolutely true. You know,
Bruh, I wasn't even
like I don't want to wait 6 years. I don't want to wait 6 years, 7 years for the game to get better.
It's not even that,
You know?
Mads. AQ3D cannot survive another 5 or 6 years if it continues at this current pace.
Look, survive, whether it survives or not, you know, I am sure it can survive. Look, I am 100% sure it can survive with just a couple of updates. Just do it. Like, whenever and you trust me on this, I'm betting $100 on this. Once they release a new class, a ton of people would come back. Trust me on that, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm betting $100. Once Samurai comes out, as they stated, I swear on my life, people would come back to the game. I'm not even joking.
Any big update brings people back to the game. I think a lot of people were disenchanted with the RNG grind for Voltaire. Like a lot of people I spoke to said that they're not gonna run that dungeon because they tried for a very long time. It's too much of an RNG grind, and now it's just hard, and they're just waiting for the next update.
AQW might be a worse game, but at least the direction it's going in, it's getting better. And AQ2,
they communicate, Mads.
God.
They communicate. Every single thing that they do in AQW
And
is
artists,
communicated
even
on Twitter and is communicated on Discord.
Yes, artists, community managers, YouTubers, every single thing is actually being communicated about
Yeah.
when it comes to AQW. Even classes, they have like how much? 7, 8, even 10, 12 class testers.
Oh wow.
What?
Specifically for class testing.
Why do specifically for class testing and creating challenges. And what do we have here?
We just have testers, regular testers.
Regular
A
testers.
handful of testers who are overworked and can't
Yeah,
test
and
everything.
This is Unity, by the way.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is Unity. AQW is like a simple game.
Compared to Unity, yeah.
Compared to Unity, here we actually need 12. They give us here like 12 testers, bro. I swear to God, every single if they actually test everything correctly, we wouldn't have issues. I'm not a couple of them, so you cannot really blame them for like just coming back into the game that they've used to be playing for like almost a year or like 2 by now. And even if they quit, what other game is gonna replace this?
Yeah. It's like
Well,
you've built
I mean, right now-
you built a second family in here.
Like right now, if you go to Diablo Immortal, sure, it's a fun game, but that game is pay to win as a lot. Like
Yeah.
because like you get boosted literally by paying to win. So
But even
there's no point in
even
trying
that,
to
like
compete
just going to
there.
other games in general, when you leave one game, you don't just leave the game, you leave the community. Because yes, maybe like 20, 30 people may move across to another game with you. Like when I started playing Aura Kingdom, but thankfully this started much before any of this with the game, and I couldn't blame them for not leaving the game, right? Because you are exactly right. All of this occurs outside of the game. The game is in this little box here. The creators of the game are here, and the community overlaps somewhere in the mix. So I can't in good consciousness be upset with anybody for not wanting to pay attention to these issues.
And here's the thing, let's say you log on every day, you play AK3D, and then all of a sudden one day you're just like angry and you leave the game because of I don't want it to get like sensitive with the subject, but let's say when the tiny thing happened or the tiny thing happened, and when them people like quit the game and everything, when you've been playing this every single day, farming, whatever you were doing, you know, when you start blaming someone for coming back, don't blame them because they want to help the game grow or all of that. They're just back because this is what they've been doing every single day. I mean, people don't have any other games to play. You know, some of their friends are here and they cannot like talk with them elsewhere. They talk with them through in game, and that's about it.
Yeah, not everybody.
I'm gonna be honest with you. All of these people complaining on Twitter, I don't want to call out names, but I swear on, I swear on my life, a couple of them are like permanently banned, and the reason they're complaining is probably why they can't play. I am 100% certain of that.
Nah,
I am like the Sultanist actually runs in a couple of people because of that. I am 100% certain. Like they wouldn't be sticking around every day on Twitter making those videos, clips, or whatever. So
I don't.
it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane that it's happening.
People will do what they will do. I'm not gonna like. Twitter is not the be all end all. I don't think Twitter is the ideal place to look for criticism, but it is one of the larger platforms that AK3 chooses to use.
Yes.
But for discussion, a lot of it happens behind closed doors. It happens on that AE Discord, right? A lot of the discussion and a lot of the arguments that I've personally gotten into over the past couple weeks have been on the Artix Entertainment Discord.
And for those of you who consider me to be a complainer, now I know what I'm doing. I'm very aware of what I'm doing. But you can only offer so much feedback that just seems to go off into the void before you slowly stop caring about giving super constructive feedback.
It stops being fun when it becomes too obnoxious to kill.
And the farm is not fun.
Especially when in a dungeon like this, it's all RNG rewards.
So, fast forward to May. Drama. The dev to player side is almost completely silent. Hardly any in-game events. No contact with several devs whatsoever. Devs not posting patch notes. Devs not being more interactive on the design notes.
Why is this game so broken? Why is this game so badly made? Why is everything breaking around me? Okay, Wolf, stay there. Stay there, Wolf. Teleport back, I forget. You see, I can't just log out and log back in while I'm streaming. It doesn't work. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is this game so broken? I think we might have to reconsider our return to a community.